everyone, welcome back to our Accounting 210. In this video, we continue with the chapter 9. We are almost done. So hang on there with me. We talk about master budget, right? So before we go to do the last part of the cash balance, I want to review this chart one more time with you. We talk about that for financial budget. We start with the capital expenditure budget. We said this is a long-term asset, right? Long-term assets like computer, the assets that will last for more than 1 year. And then we also said you have a cash budget. Cash budget, we have two parts. One is cash collection, one is a cash payment, right? And then once we got that, we will get our balance sheet. We will get our balance sheet. So let's look at this one. I skip all the dividend income statement, but let's look at this one. So you have all this combined information, right? You have all this combined information. For cash payment, for cash collection, we did this. For cash payment, you have all these items. You pay cash for direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, operating expense, capital investment, income tax, and dividend. We said for this item, row 8 and 9, we have a non-cash item. Remember depreciation expense and bad debt expense, right? So you got all your ending balance of your cash payment. So we start from beginning cash balance from last year. We have a cash collection. We have a cash collection. We add those together. We got total cash available. We have our cash payment. Then we got minus our cash payment. We have our ending cash balance. We have our ending cash balance. And then you can find out our January actually we have negative, so we want to finance. We can borrow, we can, but we have to pay off our debt, we have to pay off our interest. So ending cash balance after the financing, will be a little bit different. Okay, so you do not need to know line of credit, you do not need to know these parts, and then you also do not need to know all these items. So those are similar, but these are all the other account for our balance sheet. So you can see you also have this inventory, you have account receivable, you have account payable. So those things are also under all the details of the budget, but we are not going to talk about that. Okay, so that's all for our chapter 9. That's all for our chapter 9. I want to just review very briefly, describe, and then so this is basically gives you a general idea. Make sure you know the chart. We have been talking about the chart, right? So we start with the sales budget. We start with the sales budget, and then you don't need it. So once we start with sales budget, once we get sales, then we can make our production, right? So we can have our production. For production, we have 3 budgets: direct material, direct labor, and then manufacturing overhead. And then we also have the operating expense budget. So all this gives us our budgeted operating income. So this is called as our operating budget. This is called as our operating budget, right? And then we also have our capital expenditure. We also have our capital expenditure. We have a cash collection. We have a cash payment. So those things will give our budgeted balance sheet, give us a budgeted balance sheet, and that is called our financial budget. That is called as our financial budget. So what do you really need to know is for production budget, you definitely have to know how do you adjust from sales, how do you adjust from sales to the production, or how do you adjust from sales to the production. And then direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, those details you do not really need to know. Operating expense, let me think, operating expense, do we have anything there to really you need to know? I don't think you really have a lot to know that part. For our financial budget, you need to know cash collection. Definitely, you need to know cash collection and then also know cash payment for direct material part, I think. So those are the main calculation part. Those are the main calculation part. But read your textbook, watch the video, and then watch my accounting lab video to get overall picture for the concept for your understanding. Okay, thank you. I think that's all for the handout, and then we will have some practice of my accounting lab. So I see you there. Thank you.